whatever that might be. Or he just has the galloping trots and is shitting himself, whatever Debo wants. Let's see. Float. What the fuck, man? Alright, Spoon. I'm gonna pop open the map. It's fucked, but it still has the locations. I've got tabletop installed. Yeah, chill out. Zoom in. I believe you were in Willenheim, correct? I believe that's the last place you were. Tabletop. Yes, I'm pretty sure you were in Willenheim. Fairly sure. Open fucking sadness simulator. Yeah, relax game. Oh, the music. Ugh. Stop it. Alright. That's done. Done. Multi. Yeah. Server has been created. What the fuck? Team? Is the game just struggle busing to the server? What the fuck is... Yes. Server password. Bro, just create the server. Okay, for some reason it's not letting me create a server. What the fuck is this? Something? Bruh, let me create a server. I don't know how to tell you this, man. It's just quite literally not letting me make a server. Wait! Better not be what I think it is. No, that wasn't it. It's friends only. Invite. Server. Spoon, try creating a server. Let me know if it works for you. It's just not working for me.
Yep.
It's working for you?
Yep.
What you just went to create multiplayer, set your parameters, and then just create server and it worked, right?
I gave it the name Fug.
You know what? Maybe it just doesn't like spaces. Okay, I'll just restart. No, that wasn't it. Let us try this again. Multiplayer, your mom, invite only, create server. Okay, it was just being shit. Like that's literally it. It was just being dumb. So it works. Very nice. Wow, man, the old map. God, I miss all those trees. Fuck. I need to get those mods back. Yes. Alright. Yeah, fucking smokes crack a lot. You get an invite? the smokes crackle. Alright. You are in Willenheim. Yeah, there's Atticus's piece, there's your piece. Alright, everything is pretty fucking sweet. Apparently I'm just tapped out of fucking GM fuckery tokens, which makes me sad. God damn it. Dice over there, dice over there. GM dice. Dude, this is so organized. Jesus. This can't be.
Right?
Alright. You want to do anything before the fucking cheat begins?
No, I'm good.
Alright. Okay. Check everything here. Oh, I should probably do windowed so I can swap.
Yeah.
Alright. You find yourself unceremoniously shooed from the archive as night falls over the trading town of Willenheim. Your companion Atticus has mentioned that he has a few personal matters he needs to attend to alone. But should you need him, or if some sort of emergency becomes apparent, that he would be around. As for you, you are greeted by the harsh cobblestones, cold, windy streets. The sky rumbles, indicating that rainfall would soon befall the town and you. The streets are still, for the most part, clearing out as what few tradesmen, farmers, traders, all sorts of people begin to leave the town and return to their homes. Or return to the road, as it were. The flickering light of wagon lanterns and kind of the bustle of Willenheim's cramped quarters begins to wind down as the town falls into its slumber, slowly but surely. What do you wish to do, Spoon? You are armed with new knowledge and perhaps a way to forestall the fate that you and Atticus share.
Well, I'm not going to get very far if I don't get a decent night's sleep.
Are there any establishments that you wish to return to, or do you want to try a new one? There is one thing of note that seems to have happened over the course of the day while you and Atticus were studying in the library. You notice that several posters have been put up in Willenheim. The Fair of Blades is happening starting tomorrow. And you notice that a lot of goods are being kind of shuffled about in barrels and crates throughout the streets. Not really helping with the whole cramped feel. It's making it a bit more difficult to get around. Most of the kind of day laborers and other workers are sort of shifting all of these goods around, getting them to the right place. Certain carriages and carts are being towed by both man and animal alike. Are you interested at all in perhaps picking up one of these pieces of paper, flyers, or even just reading one?
Sure, I don't know what the Festival of Blades is.
Right. The Fair of Blades, in spite of its name, is not any sort of tournament or proving grounds for the martially inclined, as you might think. It is actually a fair where mercenaries from across the Merchant Republic and occasionally beyond gather to hawk their services to those in the kingdom that have the coin to pay. Typically, this is an event that takes place at least once every 5 years. And you seem to have lucked out and entered into the town that will be hosting it this year in Acretia. It says that mercenaries from far and wide, including famed companies like the Steel Legion, the Iron Brotherhood, and the Raging Bears, will be attending. there are a bunch of other names, but those three definitely highlight the festival. Might be worth checking in on. It says that by tomorrow, the event will kick off, and over the course of the week, several mercenary bands, companies, and maybe even forces will begin arriving in Willenheim. The town, while reasonably wealthy and large, is not large enough to hold what essentially amounts to a fairly sizable army, so camps and tents will be pitched on the outskirts and provided services. This is a fairly extensive fair that extends across all of Willenheim, just a little bit out into the farmlands. The event brings not only coin, but a level of security, if occasionally trouble, to whichever land happens to brave a bunch of sellswords kind of rummaging about.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Additionally, you notice that hold on. I'm gonna call for a check. Let's see. What kind of a check would this be? Spoon, give me a census check. Just call for 10. What'd you roll? A 19, probably?
23.
Let's see. Oh, right, including your yeah, nice, dude. Yeah, no, you notice kind of just out of the corner of your eye, behind some crates, two relatively large tattooed gentlemen having what appears to be kind of a heated exchange. Even though the streets are starting to wind down, there's still just enough noise that you're only able to pick out stray words every now and then. They seem to be pointing off in the direction of the brothel that you and Atticus had spent the night in, and one of them shakes his fist and kind of, grits his teeth and spits off in that general direction. They seem to be kind of entangled in a dispute, and if thy lying eyes doth not deceive you, then clearly it has to do with that establishment. Do you wish to explore that situation further, or move on?
I'll just write down incidentally that I have the key that smells of salt, as Atticus gave it to me, and I don't recall giving it back. Unless he took it from me.
It's in your inventory. I can check Debo's inventory. The book is like the one thing Debo has like stapled to his cock, so that's a bit understandable. But the key, I remember him giving it to you. Double check his sheet here. Yeah. Can smokes crack a lot. Let's see. Well, it's not the book, and it's not on his character sheet, so I'm assuming he gave it to you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you still have the key. It's obviously like in your pack or a pouch or wherever you wish to keep it. It's not really dangled out there open. Yeah, these guys appear to be having some sort of disagreement. Do you wish to approach this in any way, or do you wish to move on and look for something else? You could attempt to get a bit closer, maybe hear some more details. You got a really good census check, so if you can maybe succeed a stealth check and get a bit closer, maybe you'll hear more details.
I'm thinking about what Rand would do. He'd probably avoid this situation, but fuck it. Let's see what's going on. I'll roll a stealth check.
Yeah, just give me a 10. And I'll give you a +3, because it's, the crowd's winding down, but there's still some people kind of hustling and bustling about, getting things done, and you can hide behind some crates and kind of shift between folks if you have to. So you got your bonus here. They're pretty distracted. They're not really paying attention, so I'm gonna call for something. Let's see. So what'd you roll?
I'm unskilled with stealth, but I rolled 20.
20? Yeah, no, that's incredible. So they shouldn't catch you. Oh yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you kind of creep a little bit closer, kind of shift behind one of the crates and lean up against it. You put yourself in such a position that if you were to get caught, you could very easily kind of bend down and pretend to be kind of picking up some goods or shuffling a crate around. You hear them kind of going back and forth in rough common dialect. I had 15 silver to my name going into that damn place. It's all gone. All of it? Yes. You spent some of it, right? That's not the point. I know how much I spent. We need to go back and get my silver. Did you see anyone? No. I had the pipe in my mouth and was sitting down and I can't remember. It was foggy. Someone else came in later, but I wasn't paying attention. Where were you? Well, I was upstairs. So, I still have my silver. Are you sure you didn't just get drunk and lose it in a ditch? I don't play around when it comes to money. So what do we do then? We can't really do anything. There's guards there. Let's see if we can gather some of our brothers. Maybe they can help us sort this situation. Think Wulfric will go for it? Well, I don't think he'll care much about my money so much as the principle. It makes us look bad if we get robbed and nothing's done about it. Yeah, you're right. Besides, I'm sick of paying top dollar for questionable shrews. Alright, we'll go get Wulfric and we'll talk to him. Give that damn madam a piece of our minds. Show her what we think of things. We'll show them how we deal with those sorts in the north. Let's go. You see both men kind of shuffle out from behind the crates and continue sort of east of your direction, kind of ducking and weaving around the crowd and occasionally bumping into some poor bastard carrying a kind of a small sort of crate of bottles or some fish. Hey, watch where you're going! Piss off, Accretion. They are beginning to leave the scene, as it were. Do you wish to follow them?
Somehow that's not high on my priorities.
Very well. Do you wish to abstain from your degenerate curiosity?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. You decide, probably for the better, that whatever these men are getting up to, without Atticus and even with him, you don't necessarily know what you're getting into. And more importantly, you don't really owe anybody here any. So maybe you'll just keep your own hide intact and look for something a bit closer to your pig. Spoon, give me... Oh no, you have a good census check, so hold on. You're not out of the scene yet, so you have a 23, was it?
Yes.
You feel something kind of, many tiny little things kind of wiggling around in your pocket.
The fuck?
Yeah. You look down and you see a kind of a short-haired, kind of raggedy urchin-looking boy with
Kill him.
dusty
Spoon.
skin and brown eyes, and realizing he's caught, he kind of smiles nervously in your direction with his tiny hand in your pocket, and immediately tries to run. What do you wish to do, Spoon?
Kill him, Spoon. Suffer no thieves. Kill him. Kill him.
Baldur's Gate 3 mode right now?
No, that's not Baldur's Gate 3 mode. That's what I did normally. What the fuck you mean?
Now you listen to me, kid. I'm about to level up, and you look like just enough XP.
I only need 5 more, nigger. What do you wish to do, Spoon? He's basically like with his hand in your pocket right now, and he's doing Lay Classic, I'ma turn and bolt. You can reach out and try and grab him.
Nah, kill him. Kill his ass.
Or whatever. You could dash hopes on him or I don't know, man. Like, it's up to you.
I'm fucking thinking about it. You know, let's call this a divination moment. I'll be like crippled with indecision. I'll just like look him go for a round. It's like, fuck it. As long as he didn't get any of my money.
Well, you don't really know. You just felt his fingers kind of dipping around in your pouch. He did get in. Well, I'm going to be very specific. Like, he had his hand, he kind of successfully managed to finagle your pouch open, and he just as he was kind of getting in there, you kind of felt like his little fingers clinking around. So he hasn't run, but there's a chance that if you just let him go, he's going to take a handful and fucking peace out. Or try to, anyway.
I'm not the most fucking strong character, but you know, this is a fucking panic moment. I'll fucking try and grab the kid.
All right, Spoon. That is a grapple check, I believe. I believe grapple would be your agility plus brawl. I think. Some fucking stupid. No, sorry. Fight plus brawl. My bad. So fight plus your brawl skill versus his. He doesn't want to get grabbed by you. This motherfucker's gonna try and dodge. He's a kid. He's small.
11.
Okay, so let's see here.
He probably beats me.
He beats you by 1. You kind of reach out, and just as you kind of get your hand almost around his wrist, his tiny little fucking arm slips out of your grip, and you can feel and hear the little clink as he manages to secure a handful of your coins. Let's see, Spoon. He's not like out of your sight. Like, you can still see him. How much money do you have? Silver tins? He gets like, how many silver tins can you hold? He gets like 7 silver tins. So he just dips in, grabs a little handful, and he just fucking starts booking it. Do you wish to do anything?
Dash hopes.
Yes, let me dash hopes in the middle of the fucking street.
7 silver.
Do it. Hit him.
Anime red glowing eyes. You fucked up, kid. Insanity forever. Power trip.
No, if I wanted the power trip, I would just say, all right, Brian, I want to cast fucking Crumbs of Fate and fucking find myself.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that too. Yeah, I mean, we're in the he's about to roll athletics and try and book it stage. Do you wish to pursue? That is what determines what happens.
How I'll roll with this is I'll fucking have Atticus yell, "Hey! Fucking thieves!"
How do you just kind of bemoan thieves, or do you say, "Hey, thief!" Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I'll probably point at the kid to the fucking street. It's like, "Hey, that kid's a thief!"
A couple of the fellows nearby kind of turn and look at you, and then to the kid as the kid. Let's see how well did you little cocksucker? As the kid kind of books it right between 2 grown men carrying crates. Hey, watch where you're going, kid! Another man who hears you and watches the kid kind of run away goes, "Hey, the kid's a thief!" and points at him. You see a couple you see a couple halberds begin to poke up from the crowd and kind of march their way through and kind of shove people away. Some people make way, but in the confusion and the hustle and bustle, some get in their way, so they're slowed. It's a bit of a shit show right now, but you can tell you've gotten some sort of attention. Unfortunately, they're not really going in the direction of the kid. They're just kind of going in your general direction at the sound of thief.
Oh, well.
Eventually the, okay. I'm gonna do a luck roll for you. Okay. Yeah, alright. As the kid is kind of, let's see. As the kid is slowly starting to kind of weave through the crowd, he thinks he's gotten away, heart thumping in his chest, 7 whole silver in his hand. Oh, that's unfortunate. He suddenly lurches forward, slips, or is he tripped? And falls on his face, your silver scattering to the cobblestones. Oh no! You see, you can kind of make out from here that some large figure looms over the kid, somewhat obscured by the crowd and a couple people holding boxes and kind of swinging them around and carts kind of passing by, but seems like he might have actually fallen and, well, sadly your silver with him, but he seems to be indisposed at the moment.
Yeah, but with my silver scattered everywhere, I don't imagine it's going to be mine for very long.
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity to get some of it back if any of it's lost. You got decently lucky.
Yeah, sure, I'll meander up and see if I can get a couple of my silver back before the crowd looks and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
No. You, in the chaos, which has taken less than a minute to unfold, you see the kid kind of comically swinging his arms and legs around as a rather large, hideous man holds him up kind of by the back of his raggedy shirt. "Put me down, you ugly bastard!" And the kid kind of struggles comically, and the man just, if it's a man, holds him out. "Be quiet, kid. We don't take kindly to thieves in the Fair of Blades." And he continues to hold the kid out at arm's length. "Come on, let me go, you big lug!" The, whatever this person is... do you have any species knowledge, Spoon?
Fucking probably not.
Okay. No species... Oh, yeah, you don't have unusual knowledge species. This is the ugliest, largest man you've seen, probably.
I can probably make a guess.
Yeah, he stands probably at about... He stands probably at about 6'3", 4", fairly well muscled, heavily armed and armored, with a kind of a unusual insignia kind of emblazoned on his armor, and he holds the kid out with a mace at his side and kind of a large shield on his back, and he kind of keeps the kid about as still as he can. The kid continues to struggle. After the kid calls him a big lug, the large man kind of looks over at him and squints. "Quiet, kid, or I'll do what your father should have done. Beat you." The kid kind of looks at him kind of wide-eyed, and he kind of shrivels up like a plant just exposed to a noxious stench. The man kind of looks at some of the scattered silver, but he doesn't seem enticed by it. He just sort of sits there and he looks at it. And, do you have... What kind of a check would this be? Spin, give me, what would this be? Give me an empathy check. What'd you get?
Let's see, why am I getting 6 and 8 as a modifier? Hold on.
Sure. Let's see. Your charisma's 4. Your empathy's 2, so that's 6. You rolled an 8, so you're at 14. What are you getting a +2?
I think that might be fame, but I don't think that's applicable for this.
You're still kind of in the area. So
Serpent's tongue. Wait.
Are you using Serpent's Tongue? Oh, maybe that's for... Well, are you good with 14, or do you want to add more to it?
I'm good with 14.
Yeah, no, that's enough. You can kind of tell just at a brief glance that, well, the fact that he's not reaching for your silver, on top of the fact that he restrained the kid, that's a good sign. It means he's not trying to, like, counter-rob you. Although, you can sort of tell that he seems to be... His eyes sort of dart very quickly between each piece, almost as if he's counting.
Huh.
The kid, who had once been very loudly protesting, has fallen silent, and he kind of looks at the large, ugly man with, well, you could only describe as absolute terror in his eyes. The man, you can tell, if he chose to hit this child and he was serious, would probably completely dislocate his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
And probably most of his face. He kind of looks at you as you pass through the crowd. Caught your thief. And then he kind of holds out a hand.
In the usual pay me gesture, I'm assuming.
The universal sign for pay me nigger.
All right, I will gather up the silver and I will hand him 2 pieces. Thank you, kinda.
He kind of he looks at the 2 silver and then goes, Thank you. Puts it in his own little pouch and he continues to hold out the he continues to hold the child out. Even though it is a small child, this is a lot of weight. Like, this would start to really take its toll after a while, but he seems relatively unfazed. For an extra 4 silver, you can have the kid. The child looks at him like, hey, you what? Shut up!
Fucking kid. Randall kind of thinks about that because slavery is a thing in the Imperium. Would my character ever experience looking at slaves?
Well, you know,
or is that a Constantine thing?
You know that slavery is illegal in Acretia, but like,
all right,
but slavery is illegal. You don't really know if he's trying to sell you the kid as a slave, or if he's just saying, "I will give you this child to beat the fuck out of for extra money." Like, he's not really being clear about it.
Okay, Randall will give a scratcher and says like, "Hey, no, I'm good."
He kind of tosses the kid on the ground, sort of clumsily. Just the child kind of lands with an oof, and then kind of quickly scrambles to his feet and disappears into the crowd, cursing at the big man. You'll pay for that, you giant dummy! The large man kind of looks out to the kid and goes, "Yeah, I'll be waiting for you." He then turns his attention back to you, and he gives you a kind of a quick look over. This isn't really something you can resist. He's just kind of looking you up and down, trying to get a. What are you wearing? What do you look like, Spoon? What's your general condition right now? He's just kind of sizing you up, you know, seeing what you're about.
Well, I imagine I don't think I ever got anything from the golden. What's his name? I don't think I got anything from like the Trax Golden Fleece to replace my shit head covering, which is basically just like a rag that I got from the Ogre's Den. I'm still wearing the Brigandine, I think, and the loose furs, and I'm carrying a walking stick, which doubles as a quarterstaff.
He crosses his giant muscled arms and he kind of wrinkles his nose somewhat in your direction. You got the armor. You even got some fancy furs. Where's the weapon?
Atticus kind of looks at him and is like, oh, right. I took this from some bandits in an ogre den.
He kind of looks at your staff. I'm guessing it's fully visible, right, in both ends?
Oh yeah, it's like basically unconcealable. It's basically almost the length of up to his elbow.
Gotcha. He gives your staff a quick look. You forgot to put the point on your spear.
This is the walking stick.
Do you look old?
No, but I imagine my character looks emaciated. He's frail.
Well, you're not old, but you might be the skinniest runt I've ever seen. Second to that kid, of course.
That wouldn't be the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, well, keep an eye on your pockets. There's a lot of those urchins lurking around. Especially during the Fair of Blades.
Will do. What's your
Right.
name, friend?
Oh, my name? You care, huh?
You did
You
me
just-
a favor.
I guess I did. Most people just tell me to piss off. Gorik. By the way, Spoon, to give you an idea what this man looks like, just for
Oh yeah, he
Randall's-
towers over me.
He's large, muscled, and he's very hairy. Like, he has hair in places that don't make sense.
Hmm.
Like around the eyes, kind of cheeks. His jaw and mouth area seem kind of overly broad and deformed, and his skull looks thick. Like it could take a pounding, but it's very clearly unusual, certainly unnatural. This is either the ugliest, strongest looking man you've ever seen, or something else. Would you like to take any magical actions?
Nah.
No? Okay. Yeah, just a giant, ugly man. You can also see some of his teeth are unusually sharp.
Gorak, eh? I'm Randall.
That's right. Little Randall. What brings you to Willenheim?
A curse.
Great. Wait, a what?
Curse.
You don't look cursed. He kind of stares at you blankly as if he's expecting some sort of like grandiose declaration of "I am cursed."
Well, I
But-
typically don't like to go and advertise it everywhere.
Well, you just did to me, and I barely know you.
Well, you did me a favor.
How are you cursed? You look... Well, you're skinny, but... A lot of people don't eat too well around here anyway.
Apparently, a friend of mine has some tension witch once. And I was caught in the crossfire.
Huh. Well, I guess you being at the Fair of Blades makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it?
A bit.
So what are you looking for, then? Were you just passing through, or do you actually want to hire someone?
Something to consider.
Well, I won't make you make any checks for this Spoon, but he definitely looks like he's here to be hired. His equipment definitely seems as though it's well maintained, if a bit worn, and definitely a notch above kind of the civil militia kicking around and some of the guardsmen nearby, although they're comparable to the actual guards, better than the civil militia. He's definitely kind of a mercenary sort. You got any gold to pay with?
But not.
What about silver? You got silver?
I got some.
You looking for anyone?
Eh. I'm looking for a particular type of mage.
Look. This is the Fair of Blades, but don't think you're gonna find those types around here waving signs.
Randall shrugs. Wouldn't hurt to look.
Guess not. Well, thanks, Randolph. I'm gonna go look for someone who actually, needs my service, but, yeah, good luck to you.
You too, Gorak.
Oh, and, maybe sew your pockets shut when you're walking through the street.
Good advice.
He, kind of gives you one last look and then sort of, stomps off into the crowd. Anyone who can see him sort of makes way, gives him a double take, and a few people, when he's not looking at them, sort of sneer and give him these kind of looks of revulsion. Some people, after the encounter, then turn their gaze to you, although they carry about their business. The man definitely draws attention, not through any sort of charisma, but he's generally loud, big, and hideous, so people will pay attention. He's also well armed and armored, which doesn't help. Yeah, he has he eventually sort of dips around one of the corners, across the tailor shop, and vanishes into Willenheim. You are now left to your own devices, covered silver, and, short of a child vowing vengeance, which is always good for a laugh, the day thus far has been only slightly eventful. What do you wish to do, Spit? A lot on your plate. All but 2 silver, which you paid Gorik for,
right?
Helping you out. What do you wish to do, Spin? Ask any questions. Fair doesn't start till tomorrow, and it's nighttime. Things are winding down, but not everything's closed yet.
Yeah, I believe I was recommended a place to stay, like the Cockatrice Tavern or something.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that one. I'm going to rename that tavern to the Red Cock.
Okay.
All right. You're going to make your way to the Red Cock. I believe it was a more prestigious establishment than the Red Lantern. But nonetheless, it's definitely going to be one of the few places that might still have some openings, considering the Fair of Blades is in town, and, well, better to get a room now before everything packs up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you make your way through the streets, kind of admiring the kind of the nice cool air and the very light drizzle that seems to fall upon Willenheim. A half moon kind of lingers somewhat ominously in the sky with a yellow twinge sort of bearing down upon you. But there's a certain level of peace about this place. In spite of it being a rather prosperous, although smaller, town, it's relatively well patrolled. Occasionally, you'll come across varying groups of civil militia, guardsmen, just kind of checking little corners, alleys, making sure people aren't lingering awkwardly next to doors or fiddling they shouldn't be. Yeah, it's a well kind of kept establishment, as it were. As you get closer to the Red Cock, you also notice that the security seems to ramp up even more as you have kind of exited the middle quarter and have now completely entered what we called the Merchant's Quarter. A lot of the more prestigious places that are typically linked to the very powerful guilds tend to kind of nest here. But occasionally, independent, wealthy merchants with a bit more influence and coin tend to – carve out a niche here. You see the you see the large, fancy building that must only belong to the Red Cock, as the sign is quite literally a red rooster, kind of with its neck tilted upward as it assumedly is cawing up into the sky to wake people up for the day. And there seems to have been a humorous little detail, perhaps vandalized on the sign, where the Red Cock has also been given kind of a sloppily drawn red cock.
Classic.
Other than that, the building is in pristine condition and generally well maintained. So obviously this vandalism happened fairly recently. There is no guard or bouncer at the door. It's completely free for a walk-in, and as the Fair of Blades has not officially started, and it's assumed that a lot of the mercenary companies and legions have not shown up yet, that, well, there should be enough time for you to get in. I'm assuming you walk in, or is there something you'd like to do? More exploration? Generally speaking... I
would like to walk in.
Sure. Yeah, you kind of casually walk into the Red Cock, and as you'd expect, it's relatively busy, although the company here is definitely more high class than you're used to. There is no ale here. There tends to be only high class drinks. You can kind of catch the waft of fancy wines, and occasionally you even see an actual glass that people are drinking all sorts of fancy liquors from. And everybody here, man and woman, are dressed fairly formally, quite well. Which is unfortunate, because the second you walk in, you get many, many looks. This is the sort of place where your sort of dress does tend to stand out. As you kind of enter the Red Cock, you notice a well-built a well-built man with curly blonde hair and sort of steely blue eyes in a group of what you could only describe as well-dressed, pompous, loud nobles, laughing and exchanging quips kind of back and forth. Of course, until you walk in. When you catch their eye, who you could assume is their leader, bodyguard possibly, kind of fixes his gaze on you and just sort of stares uncomfortably. And he makes no effort to hide it from you. He just looks at you with these kind of with an intense glare. The who you can only assume is the bartender, kind of shuffles out from behind the counter, and after maybe about 10 to 15 seconds of extremely uncomfortable staring and silent judgment, and occasionally not so silent, the tavern keeper kind of slides up along and welcomes you. Welcome to my establishment.
Hello.
My name is William, and I will be assisting you today. Might the good sir perhaps have a more cultured dress?
I'm afraid that my clothes are at the tails.
Oh, I see. Well, unfortunately, we of course welcome your business, but there is a very, shall we say, traditional standard we hold ourselves to. And while you are of course welcome to partake, so long as you have the coin, there is a fee for those that do not.
He's trying to rob you, Spoon. Cast fucking your spell that kills
our
him.
Dress code, as it were.
Say again, Brian?
There is, of course, a fee for those who do not wish to partake in the civilized codes of conduct that we enforce in this establishment. He kind of looks your dress up and down, very obviously.
Just for shits and giggles, I think I'll roll legal knowledge.
Sure. Just give me 10.
I think that's a 16.
Yeah, excellent. Well, you know that legally there's nothing against the law about charging bullshit fees if somebody remains in your business. So, for example, dress codes and fees related to kind of minor stuff, it is all legitimate. It just can't be forced on you. It's unfair and ridiculous, but legal.
Okay. Randall will list slightly more onto his walking stick and give a sigh. Yes, how much?
Well, the good sir may not be able to afford the fee. And if it were not for the Fair of Blades, I would of course recommend that he return tomorrow. Well, I'm afraid we will have room. So perhaps he kind of looks you up and down. I do not think you will be able to pay members' fee. So let's start with something more forgiving. Perhaps 15 silver. Would you like to haggle?
Do I have haggle?
I don't know.
I do have haggle.
Oh, nice. Yeah, would you like to haggle?
Sure.
All right, we are counter haggling.
Eh.
Let's see, what am I? Okay, sure. That was so. Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course. Look at that.
Roll a 10.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
what did you get, Spoon?
let's see. 8 plus 5 is like 13.
Well, he haggles the pants off you. Let's role play it. So he suggests 15 silver. Go ahead.
15 silver?
Yes, good sir.
Can you say this is a membership fee?
No. Membership is considerably more expensive. You understand, of course, that should you partake in the delights of our establishment, 15 silver, even if it's merely an entry fee, as it were, will cover all of your proclivities. Trust me, I would never, ever charge you more than I thought our establishment was worth. And besides, you apparently, are no shortage of coin, as you are having some quite memorable crafted at, dare I say, our excellent tailor. So, you will return, hopefully on the morrow, in the proper instruments, and you will pay nothing. But for now, of course, you understand that your current dress leaves much to be desired, and, we will make sure
He's calling you a poor bitch.
We will make sure you are well treated, especially since you are paying such a reasonable amount for our excellent service. I assure you, you shall leave here pleased.
Very well.
Debo's sitting here like, I want to kill this guy.
Yes.
Me kill. Trust me. I will make sure that your night here is truly memorable. If I haven't already. You see kind of a very, very tiny glint as he sort of gives you almost a knowing, half-cheeky smile. He's got very bright teeth, which is uncommon in this day.
Oh yeah, unusual as hell.
Yeah.
I suppose I'll be taking you up on that offer. Here you are.
Alright, Spoon, you big spending fuck. He holds out a hand and he takes 15 of your silver into his pouch. He kind of he gives you a polite nod, and then he kind of motions with both hands in the direction of the establishment. Oh, please, sir, enjoy our service, as it were. Of course, not for free, but enjoy what you may. We have excellent options, especially for a man of your distinguished wealth.
Of course.
Thank you. He begins to kind of scamper out behind the counter as he is almost immediately met with demands for, you can only assume, fancy liquors. Not beer, liquors. Or ale, rather. What do you wish to do, Spoon? You are in a relatively high... You're in a relatively high-class establishment surrounded by what you could only assume are nobles or wealthy merchants, people of general importance. They dress and speak and certainly act as though they are in a position to do such and flaunt it. There is no shortage of potential connections here if one could finagle their way around. Perhaps even some political connections could be found here.
Perhaps, but how I'm going to roll this is Randall's essentially done an entire days of work and study, and he's probably fairly tired and wants to kind of relax. So he'll just pull up a chair, assuming that's allowed, and he'll probably start pulling out a piece of paper and start sketching something.
Okay. You, Yeah, you pull out a piece of paper and kind of set it on a free table, the only free table actually, of which you sit at alone. Give me a census check for the scene. What do you get?
17.
That's good. Yeah. You definitely notice, although you may be doing so kind of out of your peripheral, that you are unfortunately the center of a lot of attention. You are getting many looks, scowls, occasionally people point, and that man, that kind of handsome, curly-haired, steely-eyed fellow continues to sort of just stare in your general direction.
Peculiar.
Kind of creepy. Like, he definitely... He's either just strange or he's just odd. There's no other way to describe it. He's staring, but there's no real emotion in his expressions. He just sort of holds his gaze in your area. While every other kind of patron in this establishment will occasionally look, laugh, make a joke between sips of their wine or whatever other fancy liquor they tend to partake of. And occasionally the women will kind of giggle along as they make some sort of crass joke, probably a bit louder than you'd like, except for him. And he is also the only fellow in here that is kind of garbed in relatively ornate-looking clothing. Above and beyond what would normally be considered fancy. Everybody here is dressed well, but he is dressed lavishly. The man dresses well. He's quite handsome. He kind of knows he either is extremely wealthy and important, possibly both, or something else. But he doesn't seem to have the same level of energy and kind of enthusiasm that his comrades seem to have for the Red Cock. He is definitely fixed on you.
Well, let's hope I haven't pissed off Kurt Algers.
Well, what do you wish to do? You are here with the knowledge that what people are not this man are kind of mocking you because of your less than fancy attire, and well, you've got to deal with him just constantly staring in your direction, which is always like uncomfortable or weird.
So for clarification, is this a place where like I can stay?
Well, you have paid the entry fee, which means you're allowed to sit, walk around, do all that kind of stuff, but you haven't paid for a room, you haven't paid for food, nothing.
Okay.
You basically paid to be here in your current dress. It's only a matter of time before the fellow who was kind of giving you the look sits up from his table. You see him kind of briefly wave in a few of his compatriots and whisper something. Spoon, you got a good census check, but this is a tavern. There's lots of people laughing, talking, making quips, so it was very good, but not good enough to hear kind of a whisper in this sort of situation.
Okay.
He kind of sits up, moseys on over, in your general direction, kind of sits down on one of the cushiony sort of chairs across from you. He snaps his fingers and he waves a serving girl nearby. She nods at him and disappears behind the counter, likely to fetch something that she's used to fetching him. He gives you a look and just kind of continues to stare. He doesn't say anything.
Okay, Atticus will, excuse me. Randall will put his fucking...
God modding Atticus, kill him, Spoon. Ah!
Randall will take his half-finished sketch, I would assume, and put it underneath his left arm. He's like, hello?
He doesn't seem to answer your question. He looks at your sketch. What are you putting away?
Say again?
What are you putting away? But he says it very, combatively.
My character quirks a brow. A drawing?
Let's see it.
My character shrugs. Turns it upside down.
What is it, Spoon?
My character was drawing a from-memory rendition of Malleus Bale.
Is it completed?
Nope.
Okay, so it's kind of just rough draft sketch type of thing, right? Holy shit, you're ping. It's sort of kind of like a rough draft sketch. It's real details aren't even finalized. It's hard to make out what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you hold it up to him, and he kind of looks up and down. He looks it up and down, and sort of just scowls. Finally, breaking his kind of placid expression. Do you think this is the right place to be such?
I'm sorry, what did he say?
Do you think this is the right place to be doing such a thing?
I'm not going to find many other lodgings.
I don't understand why that's mine. Who are you? He kind of leans in. The clink of the of what you can only assume to be some sort of wine is kind of fairly audible as the serving girl kind of lays the glass gently on the table. The glass cup. Where
Randall
are you
Molos.
Sorry, what was that, Spoon?
Randall Moros.
I didn't ask your name. Where are you from?
The Imperium.
Clearly. Tell me something, Imperial. Do you think you can simply walk into this establishment like you walk into most places in the Imperium without showing due respect?
Yeah.
Devo just sitting here fucking stewing. Ah. Oh, you do not know who I am.
No, dude, I got action search. That shit busted.
Oh, you clearly do not know who I am. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Lane. Do you know who I am? Do I need to tell you my last name? Lane Willenheim?
That's a gay name. Kill this guy, Spoon. Make him insane.
I am the son of the Lord, who oversees. And you have walked into this fine establishment dressed like a vagabond. Do not even have the common courtesy to come and greet me, to introduce yourself, when you are a stranger in my lands, an Imperial no less. Very interesting.
Yeah, tell him to suck a dick.
Fucking Devo, you here to roleplay or you here to fuck around? Fucking
Man, pussy.
Devo's fucking hackles. Stan.
Man, pussy.
What do you say?
Man.
Randall shrugs. Lord of Lakeshore never mentioned you.
I don't care what backwater. You're in Willenheim. So tell me, what brings you here so far from your home? The truth, you don't.
The truth.
Correct. Please don't lie to me. I abhor liars.
I see. I'm here because of a curse.
He laughs. And then he kind of leans a bit closer. The only curse is allowing you Imperials here to begin with. Why are you here? Spoon, you don't have to roll to resist unless you want to, but I'm just going to have him make an empathy check against you.
Okay.
Okay. As I said, why are you here? And answer carefully a second.
I'm helping a compatriot transport something important.
I see. And this exactly? This
It's a book.
important. Oh, a book. A book.
Aye.
He kind of leans back a bit. Now he's entertained. He's definitely kind of, well, I mean, if you don't need me to tell you, he's definitely bullying you and kind of playing games. So, you have come all the way from the Imperium to assist a patriot of yours with a tome? A book?
Aye.
What sort of book could be so important as to have you risk such a journey?
One that was evidently owned by some Tanshin witch.
He crosses his arms and squints very closely at you. Interesting. He grabs the glass, kind of allows the lip to hover just beneath his nose, and takes 2 small little sniffs. He raises the glass to his lips, takes a tiny sip, lays the glass down gently. Are you thirsty?
I'd imagine my character is parched, but the whole curse thing is not helping.
I mean, you're not particularly hungry or thirsty, but I mean, he's offering, or at least he's just asking.
Randall shrugs.
Well, I'm definitely intrigued by your presence here. But granted, the Fair of Blades allows all sorts to visit Prisha and unfortunately Willenheim. But the coin is good. So, of course, we would never pass up on such a... So, this book that you claim is the reason why you risk such a venture. Belong to some sorceress feat of some sort, and you are here to assist your... You understand how this sounds, surely.
It sounds like something out of a fairy tale.
Doesn't it? If you were in my position, what would you do if somebody... Especially in your lands. No, you don't need to tell me. In your lands, I know exactly what would happen if our situations were reversed. So what should I do with you now, this confession?
Rape.
Well, by all accounts, it sounds like you're about to do whatever you please because it's your lands.
He smiles.
Rape.
That's right. Where is this book? I wish to look at it.
God damn it.
My compatriot has it.
Oh, does he now? Well, unfortunately for you, I am currently beset by other business, but I demand to see this book. But I'm feeling charitable, you understand, Imperial. So, your companion, bring him to me, and the book, or simply the book. I don't care which, but I will see it, because now I'm curious. And between the two of us. I sincerely hope you are lying.
I thought you detested Thyatis.
I do. That's why I hope you're lying. Do you understand?
Blah, 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 blah. What a fucking nigger. I hate this guy. Kill him, Spoon.
I love this guy.
Kill him.
What are you talking about?
Kill him.
Suck his dick! Ah! Go on then. Go, Imperial. Go fetch your friend and book. Or whatever other fairy tales you've decided to pitch today. Well, go on. Do not make me repeat myself.
Randall gives a yawn. Very well.
Oh. Hold on to pull up what this
Spoon's
works.
gonna get raped.
Okay. You see his face slowly start to redden, and his eyes kind of widen in a barely contained fury. His head kind of trembles lightly, and he begins to scratch the edges of his elbows. He doesn't say anything.
Ask him if he's mad.
You fucking mad, bro? Yeah. Alright, what do you do, Spoon? Dash hopes, fuck this nigger.
Do it.
Area of effect, everyone dies. La 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 la.
Yes.
Yes,
Listen to the
yes,
Devo on your shoulder. Especially since he's not here and would never face the consequences. But still.
yes. Fuck consequences, yes.
Alright. I'll begin to meander out of the establishment.
Alright. As you do so, you know what? Spoon, what was your census check?
For what?
Sorry, what was your census check for this scene? Was it 17?
17.
Okay, don't roll. You kind of glance over your shoulder just in time to catch the nobleman, Lane Willenheim, moving two fingers kind of subtly under the table. A rather shady-looking fellow, although dressed appropriately for this establishment, sort of gives him a bit of a nod and begins to sort of move from his current location in your direction.
Okay.
Yep. But he's behind you, so he'll have to catch up. But yep, you managed to exit the establishment. The door closes behind you. Well, there is a check I'm actually going to have you make. Where is it here? Sorry, this is important. Oh, sorry. Spoon, do you have, unusual knowledge or, politics?
No.
Fuck. Okay, that was a unpleasant encounter.
Yeah.
That said, though, you are now back in the streets. They are now a bit more empty than they were before. The last of the crowds are kind of clearing up the last of the work. Some of the remaining goods are being left in their appropriate stalls or households, depending on the class. And yeah, everything's kind of wrapping up for the night. What do you wish to do?
Was the implication from the noble that I was to do it immediately?
He said he wanted to look at it, and he demanded to look at it. He didn't give you a length of time, but here's a question. I'm not going to make you roll for this. You're smart enough to know that debating semantics with somebody who seems incredibly cranky, to put it kindly, is probably not a good idea. Nobles, especially ones that tend to fit this profile, get what they want and fast. And if they don't, they tend to pitch a fit, as it were, and not in a way that is good. Yeah. Now, to be fair, that's all assumption from you. You've lived long enough and encountered people, of all stripes of life, and, well, a lot of nobles are dicks. Straight up. They ask something from you, and you do it, or you get far enough away from them that if you don't, that you kind of outlive their wrath.
Fair enough.
That's the general strat, anyway. That being said, though, what do you wish to do in the meantime? You kind of told him why you were here, and he sort of half believed you, but seemed like he was just humoring you.
I suppose I'll do a meander around and see if I can find Atticus.
Yeah, you don't know where Atticus has gone. He
Nope.
definitely has made himself scarce. Which is unfortunate because he also has the book, if you wished to take that book to the noble. So that's a bit of an issue. That being said, Fair of Blades is tomorrow, so there'll be a shitload of people here, and if for whatever reason he demanded it immediately, you would be very difficult to find. A rather large influx of people about to show up on the morrow.
Assuming the guy following me doesn't just stab me in my sleep.
Well, I mean, he hasn't come out of the Red Cock yet, so there's a chance that you might be able to give him the slip. It's nighttime. That helps. The streets are lit, so it's an issue, but there's a couple back alleys and little, shady corners kind of around some of the more lower class areas further up that you could probably hide behind or between, but, you don't even know if he's truly following you or if he was just making sure you left.
Okay.
So, shrug. Your guess is as good as anyone. What is your next course of action? Basically spent some time kind of retracing your steps and looking for Atticus, trying to find him and maybe explain the situation, or maybe just find him, period. But yeah, he seems to have vanished. Whatever he had to do was clearly quite important. It would be nice if he told you, but, occasionally he just sort of does whatever he wants, and sometimes he's not super forthcoming with the details for some. He's always kind of been that way. What do you wish to do in the meantime? You still have your kind of draft sketch of Malleus Bale in your pocket. And it is, the drizzle has calmed, and the moon has kind of crested over into a half moon.
I suppose I'll look for somewhere else to sleep.
Yeah.
As the recommended place didn't necessarily turn out, did it?
It seemed like it was just a robbery, but we'll see. Give me a census check, Spoon.
$16.
Let's see. Hold on here. Just gotta check something. You said 16?
Yep.
We tie. Roll 1 against me. What'd you get, Spoon?
6.
You beat me by 1. Okay. During the time that you had spent looking around for Atticus, you did kind of occasionally catch the silhouette of that shady-looking man, kind of flitting in and out of different corners, hiding behind crates, slipping between alleys. He's definitely following you. In spite of the location he was in, he most definitely keeps his face covered almost at all times, and he wears kind of a strange black raggedy hood and rather fancy clothing, but it's tailored in such a way as to make him more difficult to follow. There are no bright colors. They're all darks, blues, blacks, nothing that really helps him stand out. But you apparently have caught him just fine. Although he is tricky, and he definitely knows these streets quite well. You are seeing him essentially shadow you and follow you wherever you go. So you do have him kind of at your back at the moment, whoever this man is. What do you wish to do?
Alright, I guess I'll try and lose him.
How would you like to do this?
I would like to just slink through areas and see if I can break line of sight long enough for him to lose interest or lose me in the crowd.
Sure, so your senses check for the scene is 16 and you beat him. Give me a stealth check. You know what you get. I'm gonna give you a +3 because it's nighttime.
13.
Okay. Well, seeing as how you beat him, you do still see him occasionally shadowing you, and you kind of duck out behind one of the alleys across from the tailor, and then double back near the temple to throw him off the scent. But he's still following you. Looking over your shoulder as you turn the corner, you kind of peek, and seems like he also is able to keep track of your movements. You guys are in this awkward game of, I know you're stealthing and I can see you, but we're not encountering each other yet.
We sure are.
Yep. Very awkward situation, but definitely to his advantage as well as far as he knows. You're still being followed, and well, he's still following you, so you're kind of at a -1 on this one. Do you wish to try something else, perhaps? Do you have any spells that can, or any weapon items, anything you can use to kind of get this guy off your back? If you wish to do that.
I mean, I could fucking kill him. I don't wanna. I could completely blow my load with fucking Fate Seal.
That would be pretty good, actually. Let's see. Fate Seal. Lock a single target in a space that is deeply intertwined with their destiny. Yeah. If the target fails a will save, they must remain in space for an entire day and are capable of leaving it. 15 actions. Line of sight, no.
He would definitely realize that I'm doing it.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of actions.
Yeah.
It doesn't require line of sight, so that's nice. It's got good range, and he probably wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But holy shit, that's a long. If you had succeeded your stealth check, well, you'd still be like making noise because you have to say words to cast spells. But
Yep.
if you got maybe if you found a bullshit enough hiding spot, if you could get to a place where he loses you, and he's within 20 tiles, and he sits there for more than 15 actions, then yeah. And is it within 10 by 10 radius, which is kind of fat.
Yeah. Oh well.
Shit, that would be funny though.
Oh yeah, it would be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
I'm just fucking imagining in my head, and I was like, what the fuck does this stupid commenter think he's doing? He sits there watching me for like a fucking minute. He's like, alright, that's enough of this. He fucking walks out, and then he gets just Fate Sealed.
Just trapped. Can't move. Streets get increasingly crowded. Fuck! Oh god. Well, what's your idea, Spoon?
Well, I certainly don't have a lot of options. Fucking... playing like a cat and mouse game, so I I guess I'm going back to the original plan of trying to find somewhere to sleep.
All right. Well, the last two places that you were at would do. They're also under threat of filling up fairly quickly, but they had room last time.
What were the last two places?
I believe the Red Lantern, so the brothel, was the last place you had stayed at.
Is there like some Scarlet establishment?
Hold on here, Spoon.
Maybe in my like notes is like you mentioned like the Scarlet something.
Are these private notes that you have?
It's on my character sheet.
Yeah, I'm looking at your character sheet right now. I'm not really noticing anything. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I said Red Lantern. I'm an idiot. Scarlet Shawl. That was the name. Sorry, I got it mixed up with the other tavern from fucking Lakeshore. My bad, dude. No, Scarlet Shawl. Sorry. Yeah. So the Scarlet Shawl and the Golden Fleece, I believe, was the last place. So the last place you were at was the brothel. Before that, it was the Golden Fleece for a drink, and the Red Cock was where you were just fucking robbed, basically. You could track back to those places if you want, or you could look for a new place. I would say, yeah. What do you wish to do?
I guess I'll look for a new place.
Sure. Give me a. As you're walking through the street, I mean, yeah, I would say it's just like. I'm trying to find like skill for this. Yeah, local knowledge. Give me a local knowledge check. Give me like a 10.
Six.
Well, the bad news is you don't find a good place. The good news is you find a place, and it's deep in the poor district. This is about a 10-minute walk from where you were. This is a fairly decent trek across districts. You had to go very, very far to actually find places that not only like had room, but were reasonably affordable with what silver you have left. The place you find is called the Soiled Drawer. And it is a absolutely decrepit-looking establishment. Clearly in ill repair. No bouncer out by the front. The shutters are kind of crooked and sort of hanging off the hinges, and you can hear a kind of like bustling activity from within, but not the good kind. It's lots of angry screaming, fighting. You can hear tankards smashing against walls, assumedly chairs and tables being flipped. This is a very, very dodgy place, but probably affordable. There's also kind of as you get closer to the door, there's a very strong waft of cheap spirits in here. Really cheap stuff. Oh, like we're talking probably literal poison.
That's the joke, Ryan. It's all poison.
Yeah, it's. But this is the only place you managed to find. I mean, all the other places were either full up or too expensive. That's my excuse for your 6. But
yeah,
hey,
I don't have any local knowledge.
Hey man, at least you found a place.
Yeah.
Yep. And even this place is pretty busy. On the way, you had to kind of. You looked over your shoulder to see if the man was still following you, and of course, he still is. Kind of ducked and dived through darker areas, kind of shifting behind crates, trying to lose them in more kind of dingy or stinky areas that were just unpleasant to travel through. And if he didn't find a way around them, he definitely followed you right through. And yeah, he's still hot on your trail. Do you wish to enter the establishment?
Yeah.
Yeah, you you enter the establishment to a fairly hilarious scene. You see you see a fat bearded man with a gigantic gut, frozen in terror, his eyes widened as he as a couple other men kind of scatter away from the table, and his gut disgustingly sort of lays out across it. He's very overweight, and he you recognize the figure that is currently causing him to fear for his life, and it's Gorick, who quite literally has this man's balls in his gauntleted hand and is staring him down through his soul, and you can hear his loud voice boom across the tavern. Several kind of many cards are kind of strewn all over the place, and gold and silver and copper are kind of scattered to the floor. And you can hear Gorick kind of look at the man, his weapons away, but his fists primed.
You cheated me out of my money. I saw you switch the cards. Give me my money back, or your future children die.
The man kind of swallows a big load.
Tell him to suck a dick and
frog,
kill him, Spoon.
A huge frog in his throat.
Why would I want to do that to Gorak? I love Gorak.
I didn't steal. I just... You lost fair and square. I didn't take anything from you. Give me my money back, or this innkeeper will have a cleaning bill that he won't be able to pay.
Okay, just no need to get out of hand. Just your gold is on the table. Just take it. Just take it and leave.
Good. Glad you decided to negotiate. Get out of my face.
He throws the man to the ground by the balls. The fat man kind of humorously wiggles on the ground.
I like how you made him
hands.
fat after the fact. Fuck you.
No, he was fat before.
No, he said he was fat before.
Yeah, you just don't pay attention, nigger.
Yeah.
He fucking holds his balls with both hands and winces in pain, his disgusting gut flopping off to the left as he kind of humorously attempts to struggle to his feet like a beached whale. You see Gorick kind of look at the table, and his eyes kind of dart between all the gold and silver and copper. The men at the edges of the table kind of look between each other nervously, thinking he's going to take it all. And yet, he kind of reaches out and only takes 3 gold pieces, puts the only gold on the table, but his gold, at least so he said, puts it into his pouch. He turns and regards you with kind of a sort of a half smile.
Ah! Randolph!
Close
What
enough.
do you do?
Hello, Gorak.
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to find a place to sleep after some noble's henchman is following me.
Is that right?
He by the way, he's very loud. His business is everybody's business.
Mm-hmm.
What? You don't want him to follow you?
Not particularly.
Well...
Gorick kind of thinks for a second, see the wheels turning in his head. He does the universally understood hand motion, but he says nothing.
How much is causing an enemy?
He kind of interrupts you immediately.
Don't.
No, this is me thinking out loud. The
Oh,
player.
okay.
It's like how much is pissing off this fucking noble actually worth?
Insert Debo.
Every.
Just give him the coin purse and just fucking go sleep in an alley somewhere. Randall will count out 5 silver.
All right.
How much silver you have, Randolph?
Not much.
How much silver? Numbers.
5.
Is that it?
Randall lists his head. 11.
He kind of like winces a bit.
Look, Randolph, I can't keep saving you on the cheap.
Fair
But-
enough.
This one time, I'll take 2 silver. Is he tough?
He works for a noble. I think he's more of a sneaky type.
Great, my favorite. 2 silver, and I'll make him, seek a better employment.
Alright. You want to play cards out there?
No! Cards? Bullshit!
Randall shrugs. Fair enough.
Sorry, give me 6.
Yeah.
My fucking throat hurts. All right. Yeah, if you'll pay him 2 silver, he takes it, and then
He takes my 2 silver, he walks outside, he doesn't see shit.
Yeah. he,
I got him, Randall.
He takes your 2 silver, and pretty much exactly as your silver changes hands, you see the man that was trailing you walk into the establishment. I mean, it has shutters, not windows, so it can't see through it. And, well, Gorik doesn't exactly know who you're looking for. So he begins to walk toward the door, look for whoever this man is. Do you wish to say or do anything before he exits the tavern?
Yeah, as him and Gorik are about to pass each other by his eyes, like, oh, that's him.
Gorik kind of looks over at the comparatively much smaller man.
Him?
Hey.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
The man who enters the tavern looks around a bit shiftily, kind of straightens his posture, and he definitely stands out in his clothing. He takes a step forward, and as Gorik passes him by, the both of you have your brief exchange. Gorik points in his direction with a thumb, and when you give the confirmation, the man looks at you, and before he can look at Gorik, several of his teeth hit the floor, and blood splatters across the wall. The tavern patrons don't really protest. They try to go about their business, and the barkeeper just kind of squints, and he holds a hand up to his head and massages his temples.
Oh
The man hits the floor with a sickening thud. Gorik kind of picks him up by the front of his shirt effortlessly and smashes his fist into his face 2, 3, 4 times. And the man is completely helpless, unconscious, and his face is starting to look more like a mush. Gorik's fist is gauntleted, and his strength plus that metal seriously hurts. If the man is even alive anymore, the ugly brute kind of holds him up, looks around. He walks over near one of the barkeep's kind of ale barrels. The barkeep kind of holds up his hands. No, please! This has to last for the Fair of Blades.
Out of the way!
He shoves the innkeeper over, causing him to fall flat on his butt. He kind of rips off the lid of some pungent, strong liquor. And the man, if he's barely conscious at all, his head kind of lightly weaves back and forth. Kind of snaps to for a couple seconds, his eyes barely opening. Gorik grabs him by the back of his ponytail after ripping his hood off and dunks his head in the brew. His feet kick, his arms twitch, and he struggles like futilely against the much stronger man. Gorak kind of holds him there, and he just sort of waits. Eventually, the struggling stops, and the man falls limp. Gorak throws him on the ground.
Have a drink!
Brian,
The man definitely had far too much liquor.
Brian,
Gorak then turns around. Hold on, Spoon. Gorak then turns around, looks at you, gives you a nod, and then he looks over at the tavern.
He died drunk! Isn't that right, lads?
But the other patrons in the tavern kind of nod nervously. A couple of them smirk, laugh. The innkeeper just sort of pouts on the floor, kind of in a crumpled heap.
Well, when you serve shit like that, obviously your customers die.
Sorry, Spoon, you were going to say?
Brian plus 2 XP.
Thank you. Do you want to give me plus 2 GM die?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Take it, you won't.
These allow me to let you and Devo suffer.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
Fuck you, Spoon. Fucking traitorous nigger.
I'll take 2 GM tokens. Feels good, man. All right. Well, at the moment, he seems to have cowed the establishment into going along with whatever he says because, well, nobody here can fight him, and, well, he just probably killed somebody and
Probably.
ruined an entire barrel of ale.
Also, probably.
Gorak then, rather subtly, of course, stomps over in your direction and goes,
Easiest 2 silver I ever made. You got anybody else for me to buy liquor for?
Maybe later.
Well, it's been a lonely journey, Randolph. I'm gonna go to Scarlet Rag or whatever. You have a good sleep or whatever you're gonna do here. Maybe I'll see you at the fair.
Hey,
Huh?
kind of grunts in your direction.
But you got something to say, Randolph? Pent up here.
good luck to you.
Oh yeah, you too. Stop pissing people off.
I'll try.
And, yeah, he kind of gives you a really rough pat on the back. Spoon, give me a
Dodge roll? Athletic roll?
Christ, what is this? Yeah, I mean, obviously he's gonna attempt to pat you on the back, but like, yeah, give me a dodge check if you wish to dodge. Whatever your defense is, give me that. He's kind of just casually trying to pat you on the back. Yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah, he gives you a hard slap on the back that knocks you on your face.
Oh, sorry, Randolph.
He kind of like helps you up a bit, although roughly.
Eh.
You don't, Spoon. You don't take any damage. It just sucks.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm already at negative wounds. What more could he possibly do? Don't answer that.
Rape. Yeah, he helps you up, and then
All right. Maybe I'll see you around, Randolph.
Yeah.
yep, he exits the establishment, and well, people don't treat you with the same fear that they treat Gorak, but they are careful around you, and they do sort of kind of give you your space. They definitely don't want to get on the wrong side of somebody who is apparently friends with that freak.
Randall will meander up to the bar and kind of like face plant it with his fucking walking stick leaning against his shoulder. He'll put his left elbow on whatever like the remnants of this bar must be, or and he'll look up at the bartender. Got the room.
Bartender looks at you. His eyes quiver as if he's about to cry. But he holds back his tears. Yes.
How much?
Free for you.
Randall will slide him 2 silver.
He looks at the 2 silver. And then he looks at you.
I can take it back.
he kind of very gingerly scoops up the silver and just sort of pats it like a small child. This man has either had a very terrible day, or is about to be in a lot of trouble, or maybe both.
Or both.
But he's definitely not about this life.
And potentially not in it for long.
Yeah, he just kind of points you upstairs, gives you a kind of a brass room key, and just mourns his defiled ale barrel and the man on the floor who is probably dead. He
I ain't checking him.
He leans down and kind of just sort of looks at him, slaps his face, kind of holds up his arms up and down. Spoon, do you have medicine?
I don't think so. Let me look. I have 3.
Give me a medicine check. Get a 10.
Just barely.
This man has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Like, he's literally
Clearly.
just guessing. He's just guessing. He's slapping him in the face. He's holding his arms up. He's like poking him. He has no idea what he's doing. Eventually, the innkeeper kind of looks out over the bar and goes, "Some of you just help me deal with this." A couple of the patrons get up and walk over to see if they can kind of help drag the man out of the establishment. As for you, I'm assuming you want to head upstairs?
Yeah.
Alright. You head up the kind of old, creaky, kind of semi-rotted stairs. Ill-maintained and generally hazardous. The fact that they've kind of held up for as long as they have is impressive. They kind of creak, groan, and occasionally mush under your feet, so you're careful. You reach you reach a room at the far end. There's kind of a number sloppily scratched into the side of your E3. You click the key into the iron lock and open it up, and what greets you is essentially a kind of a small cubicle, if you could even call it that. Very tiny room with like a hay pile with a really kind of old, ragged, slightly smelly chicken feather pillow. Not exactly comfortable. There's a lantern sort of hanging off the wall that still has some dim flame left, and in the corner there's kind of a shitty old trunk that the lock is sort of crooked and broken, but you could probably put some things you wanted. It's actually impressive. The lock works on the room door. The room has no shutters, nothing to let fresh air in. It's a bit icky, but tolerable. You've dealt with worse weather. There's pretty much nothing here but a bed. This is terrible. Something tells you that there isn't really room service of it. This is one of the worst establishments you've probably ever been.
One of those situations where it legitimately might just be better to camp outside.
It's awful, but you paid for it. So,
Yep.
Straw mattress, old chicken feather pillow, and your blanket is your body hair. What do you wish to do now that you have some privacy?
Well, first Randall is gonna fucking pray to the Almighty like he has never done before that he doesn't catch fucking weevils.
Is there anything else you want to pray for?
Not dying would be nice.
Is your character actually religious?
Not terribly, but this is one of those things like, crisis of faith moment, please.
If I get a 10 on 2 dice, maybe some divinity will take fucking. Well, I tried.
You sure did.
Oh god. Well, you're not being followed anymore. That's nice.
As far as I know.
I mean, it only seemed like one person got called out to see you, so yeah, you pretty much had them change careers permanently.
Forever.
Um,
Don't mess with the death rape shark. We've learned today. Oh
Now
man,
then.
I'm gonna have to tell this to Atticus.
Something tells me he's not going to be thrilled unless you word it very specifically. All right. You are now in your own private room. You headed to sleep?
Yep.
All right.
Rape!
Yes.
Have you eaten anything at all today?
I believe I tried to scarf some bread earlier in the day, but it wasn't agreeing with me.
Do you have any rations on you?
2 days.
You could try to have some of your rations before you go to sleep.
Sure, do they taste like ash and chalk in my mouth?
It tastes the same as before. It's terrible. There's nothing here. It's like dust in your mouth. It's so unpleasant. But I mean, you gotta eat, so you sort of cinnamon challenge that shit. Just ugh.
Good
Ugh.
cinnamon
real
challenging
struggle.
fucking hardtack and jerky.
By the time you finish, your throat is raw. It hurts. But, well, you think you're full. So, there's that. If you head to Sleep Spoon, you'll be able to recover health equal to your, one health per 2 points of strength you have, plus any other benefits that you have from talents or any of the sort.
I am now at 0 total wounds.
Because you took injuries. Oh, yeah, right? That's right. Yep, you recover some of your health. You're still conscious for some reason.
Despite the hole in my head.
Yep, you kept that covered, by the way.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yeah,
You
after
have,
Morgan decided, you know what, after an entire life of adventure and bullshit, yeah, that's too much for me. Randall probably thought, yeah, let's keep this covered.
Look, man, everybody has their limits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, 0. Good, got some of your life back. All right. You wake up to the somewhat distant sound of a cock crowing in the distance. And when you do, you are greeted by familiar sounds of a street that is just beginning to pick up. You hear the clanging of metal, the sawing of wood, the haggling of merchants, the arguing of the peasantry, and more advertisements for mercenary services than you've ever heard in your life. And more importantly, this particular tavern itself, though you have not seen anything, the noise from downstairs has picked up to such a degree that even if you wanted to sleep, it would be a challenge. Also, the rumbling of the many feet up and down the stairs across your hallway, downstairs, things being upturned, dropped, people screaming, laughing, arguing. It seems like the Fair of Blades is starting fairly early as well. The mercenary companies and legions have arrived. Assumedly, the merchants are either finishing up the last of their displays or have finished. And the city, the large trading town has come to life with activity and opportunity for those that are of a discerning nature. What do you wish to do, Senhor Spoonalot?
Alright, I guess I will go down into the main area and see what all the hustle and bustle is about.
Yeah, you head downstairs, and as you get outside your room, and kind of meander your way over, begin walking down the stairs, at the very bottom, and pretty much from that point on, you see people. Lots of them, packed tightly like sardines in a can. ale tankards and all sorts of varying plates filled with foods, stews, the smell of freshly baked bread and cooked lamb kind of fills the air.
Cooked lamb. Yeah, brother.
With the occasional waft of pork. The cheaper meats tend to be more readily available here. And on top of that, the crowd here has become much more varied. People from all over are here. You see large, tall, blonde, bearded and fierce-looking gentlemen with you can only describe as tribal tattoos in large groups at one end of the tavern, and then at the other side you can see kind of a group of more like formal-looking. You had to guess, maybe like Eastern. Give me a let's see, a little skill here. You get some good shit. What are your skills? Give me a local knowledge check. Give me a 15, and you'll get some good knowledge.
Nine.
You have an imperial background, right?
Yep.
Okay, I can give you some things for free. Some of the men wearing more formal arms and wielding more sophisticated armaments, you definitely recognize where they're from. They're from the Imperium, but not from the West. These are men of... these are Bacillari soldiers of some kind or description. They have the look and everything. They tend to be... they tend to have an olive complexion, darker hair. They're usually a bit shorter. And they speak in a very kind of exaggerated fashion. Strong accent, lots of hand movements, and what you can only describe as a very kind of obnoxious, perhaps overly braggarty sort of way of presenting themselves. They are definitely confident, or at the very least, delusional. But many of these men kind of stand around in their own little kind of circle, exchanging tales, drinks. You do not speak that dialect, but you do recognize them. Across from them, the other men, well, they're from somewhere. Definitely not from the continent. They look very distinct. They tend to be larger than most of the other men in the tavern as a rule, but still, compared to Gorik, these men do look human? Not as ugly. He was hideous. But these men are just unpleasant. In another corner, you see something that's definitely unique. You see a man kind of sitting on his own with a curved blade and a strange kind of wrap around his head. He's got very He's got very tan skin and a kind of a dark, sort of well-trimmed beard, and some strangely designed armor with pointed kind of shoes that are curved inward. Much in the way of like kind of tasteful jewelry, obviously expensive, clearly real, with actual gems and what appear to be. Give me an appraise check for anything else. Let me know if you get a 10.
11?
Yeah, fine gems, golds, and other kind of exotic metals are kind of occasionally splayed across his fingers, maybe a necklace around his neck, and he tends to sort of observe the others around him, and he seems to have a kind of he tends to have a bunch of parchments laid out before him. He's got several kind of what do you call it, ink quills and ink bottles nearby, as if he's making notes. He occasionally turns his gaze up from his work and fixates on a particular area or person, and then he goes back to what he was doing. He also seems to be kind of fiddling near constantly with some sort of cylindrical object at his side that kind of opens up and reveals yet more parchment. He seems to be busy kind of swapping notes in and out. And, you notice something very interesting. He has a strange glass-like object on his left eye with sort of a dangling gold chain that occasionally fiddles with, particularly when he gets close to parchment. He appears to be probably middle-aged, in good shape, and armed, but currently not wearing any overt kind of armor that you're aware of or familiar with. Well dressed, definitely the most exotic person here. And his sword is especially interesting, as it is designed like in a C shape, bizarre curve. But he seems to be on his own. Every other mercenary band is either local, some from Acretia, occasionally from the Imperium. They tend to stand out culturally, even from the east. And rarely you might see a small group of Constantian conquistadors. That these men tend to travel worldwide for many reasons. Although, given the hazard of their profession, they tend to be small in numbers, typically if they've been around for a while. Yeah, there is a varied number of people here. The innkeeper and all the old patrons, you might recognize some of them, but the innkeeper is quite literally drowned in demand for alcohol. And you recognize the barrel he's pouring from is the one that Goric drowned that poor bastard in.
Yeah, we're avoiding getting a drink in this establishment.
Yeah, well, he wasn't going to waste it, so,
Fair enough.
And the men here are either too desperate, too drunk, too stupid, or too impatient to question him on it. They just pay and take their drink. It is very crowded here and difficult to kind of maneuver, but, with some effort, you can kind of push your way through and get to the exit. But there are lots of men here, and a lot of them look like mercenaries. With the odd peasants sprinkled in, but most of the peasants are out working at this time. Either in their shops or in the fields, at the forge. Yeah. What do you wish to do, Mr. Spoon? Fair of Blades is upon us.
You said that guy with the turban on his head was by himself, right?
Yeah, he's on his own. He has a table to himself for whatever reason, in spite of the fact this establishment is fairly crowded. Nobody seems to bother him or challenge his position either, which is strange.
Alright. Randall's gonna look around.
Sure.
And he's gonna look back at the guy with the turban on his head. He's like, I've never seen anyone like this before. He'll walk up to him. Hello.
He looks up from his scrolls and he adjusts his strange eyepiece. Good morning, my friend.
Do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, not at all. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Would you like a drink? He seems to have at least another tankard here.
Atticus. I'm sorry. Randall. God damn it. My brain. Stop it, brain.
God-minding people's characters. Ah.
Yeah.
Fucking god-minding piece of shit.
Randall will get a look on his face and then kind of casually look at the barrel the man was drowned. He's like, maybe not one from here.
I had noticed that there seems to be some sort of additive in this drink. I don't recall any sort of red liquor where I am from, but perhaps it's a local custom.
I would not bet on it.
Oh? Do you know something?
I do.
Would you care to share, perhaps?
Well, let's just say the additive is not very appetizing.
I see. Well, I will assume you are... This.
Say again?
He says, well, I will assume you are doing this as a show of good faith. He kind of ignores his tankard. and gives you his full attention, kind of flattening out 2 pieces of parchment and then putting one of them back in that cylindrical tube.
That enough.
Tell me, why have you chosen to sit here?
I wanted to finish a sketch I was starting.
Ah, artist. Interesting. Well, can I see your work?
Certainly.
Sure. Do you have any sketches that you haven't sold?
I'll leave that up to your discretion. I
Spoon.
imagine I have something that my character's been practicing on.
Spoon, let me tell you. Let's see. What do you have? You're a sketch artist. It's your trade. I believe you're considered a professional at it if you have it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, tell you what, Spoon. You have a 1d10 divided by 2 professional sketches.
Okay. I have 4.
You show him all 4?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. You open your kind of. Where would you keep them anyway? I guess you have kind of like
Imagine I have like a little carry satchel or something.
Yeah, I'll just say you have kind of a thick leather band and kind of a unique small little satchel you keep them in. It's shaped in such a way that it fits a stack if you were to ever crew that much. He looks over your work and he looks over your work and quirks a brow in interest. His eyes kind of widen a bit as he goes over each piece, kind of trailing a finger along some of the more unique details. Oh, these are remarkable. He continues to kind of page through. Such detail. Imagine what you could do with color. He thinks for how much? I'll buy all 4.
Randall kind of looks up with an astonished look on his face as if this is almost like never happened before, and he kind of blinks and then looks left and right. He scratches his head. Can I roll like appraise?
Sure. I mean, it's art, so it's kind of in the eye of the beholder, but sure. Go for it. See if you can get a rough value. What do you get?
That's looking like an 8 because I don't think I have any appraise. Yep.
All right, so an 8. If you had to guess, I mean, you might sell them for 1 or 2 silver a pop.
Randall thinks about it. 3, 4 silver.
The man holds up a hand, almost dismissively. No. You see, where I am from, it is considered grave insult to not pay an artisan what he is worth. He reaches into his pocket and kind of takes out what appear to be gold coins. Counts them over. 4? Perhaps 4 of these? Holds them. Yes?
Certainly, if you would be willing to part with it.
Of course, here. Take it. These are beautiful. My wife will enjoy them. Here. Yeah, he hands you 4 gold.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know if you figured this out, but if his initial description didn't give it away, and if this didn't clue you in, this man is money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But do you, belong to any sort of local guild, or are you free of such restrictions?
I'm currently free of such Grecian restrictions. I was trained in the Imperium, though my tutor would prefer not to be known.
Ah, I see. Well, should you ever require a patron to support your craft, he kind of reaches into that cylindrical object, and he fiddles for a bit. And eventually he kind of takes out an even smaller piece of, well, it looks like parchment, but it's harder. It's a bit dried and a little bit worn around the edges, but he kind of hands you this little card. Here. This is my house, my kingdom, my family name, and you are more than welcome to work for me, should you so choose. I will pay you well. What else do you do?
I see. Well, I am also a butcher by trade. I typically did that in between trying to pay for parchment.
Ah, what do they call you, sir?
Randall Moros.
Pleasure to meet you, Randall.
Likewise.
They call me Abad Abel Rabot. Abad Eden Noir, but
Bibbidi bobbidi boopity.
the titles, of course, are not important. Not here. Devo, fucking ding a ding a ding a ding a ding, fucking motherfucker. Let me tell you. Do you want me to just like? Do you want me to copy paste his name for you, Spoon?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh. The savior we needed changed my mind. There you go, Spoon. I'll paste it into your Abad Abd Ibn Rabot. That is his name. Enjoy. Well, clearly you're Imperial. I know you on sight. Killed many of you. The war, of course.
I am fortunate enough not to have participated.
Ah, yes. Well, you are lucky to have missed out on it. You seem quite young. Well, young insofar as men who have not seen war. So, tell me about yourself, Randall. Why are you here? Have you come to ply your talents at the Fair of Blades? Perhaps you are a blade.
Well, due to a special set of circumstances, I am looking for those who are mystically inclined.
He thinks for a couple minutes, and mystically. I see. He taps his forehead as if remembering. You are looking for a Sahir.
I am unfamiliar with the term.
A Sahir is those who possess. How do they? Those who possess. Gamit. He kind of shakes his hands as if he's kind of struggling. Magic?
Accurate.
Yes. A Sahir uses Gamit to shape. Yes, yes, you're looking for a Sahir. I understand. Can you not find any?
It is orders of magnitudes more difficult to find, as you call them, a Sahir than the layman.
He blinks a couple times. But you are in a merchant kingdom. At least that's what I was told when we journey here by boat. You should be under Sahir somewhere. Surely you simply need to know how to ask. And of course, must have coin. But seeing as how you have 4 gold to your name, perhaps there will be a Sahir who will work for you.
Randall gives a grin. Yes, now I merely need to hope that they have the right proclivities to help.
You are looking for someone specific. Perhaps I can help.
Randall thinks about it for a second. A few more than others have particular skill sets that would help, but otherwise I'm looking for something specific.
Well,
They refer to themselves as divinationists or... Brian, what was the name for fucking... I'm actually blanking on it. I don't think it was called necromancy, was it?
No, necromancers works.
Or necromancers.
Ah. Well, Said Randall, I will tell you. The more specific the treat, the higher the price, the more difficult the search, but it's always worth it. Perhaps I can help you. I would, of course, require something in return, but I would never ask something of you I did not think you could do.
I am interested.
Keep it simple. You see, my son is marrying his fourth wife, and I am much needed.
Randall gives a bit of a squint at fourth wife. He's like, huh.
He kind of waves a hand in front of us. Said Randall, you with us?
Fourth wife?
Of course.
Huh.
He kind of looks at you strangely. Do you not have a fourth wife?
I do not have the one.
Oh, I see. Children?
Not as of yet, no.
His eyes widen. And then he kind of seems briefly overtaken by a momentary sorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, Said Randall.
I noticed he's begun referring to me as Saeed.
Yeah. You don't speak his language, so you don't know what it is.
Fair enough.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Ching
off.
Chong, speak
Said
English. Fucking, we're in America. Fuck
dickhead,
you.
fucking Atticus. Ah. Yeah. Well, listen. My son is going to marry his fourth one. And you, I think, are going to be the man who paints a portrait of their matrimony. What do you think?
It would be an honor, but I am more inclined to sketches. It would be slightly outside of my wheelhouse. I may screw it up.
We have time. Just not for some years. Of course, my son is still younger. He is 8. So this is, of course, in the future.
Ah,
But I know a man of talent when I see him. You are him. Perhaps that will give you the time you need to practice. If you do me this favor, I will help you find your Sahir. What do you think?
that sounds certainly more than agreeable.
Oh, I simply need your word. I am not like these accretions and imperials. I merely expect you to give me your word and I'll fulfill it. And should you do so, I will collect my due, of course, when the time comes.
Very well.
Do I have your word, Said?
You have my word.
Good. Well, we are at the Fair of Blades. As you know, this is one of the largest mercenary gatherings. I shall speak to some of my more worldly colleagues. I will try and is there any? Well, you seem to be looking for. He kind of mutters in his tongue. You are looking for a Mostadir al-Arwah, necromancer. Very difficult. It's very illegal in many places and not looked upon.
I can also make do with a divinationist.
You can tell that common is not his first tongue. He struggles to translate. He sits there for a couple seconds. Ali Rafa. Yes, Ali Rafa. You are looking for an Ali Rafa. One who sees portents in stars. Yes?
That is a fair enough assessment, yes.
We may call them Wahi. But Besides, which one do you wish? I will only find you one, Sahid Rand. Unless you wish to be...
Come to find them all, or you kill them.
Unless
You
you wish
super persuade.
to be painting for me for the rest of your life. Which I would generously compensate you for, of course, but I would be looking for Sahir for the rest of existence.
Randall thinks about it for a second. Well, if it would inconvenience you less, I could do with a divinationist.
Whichever you prefer. Pick one. I will make it so.
Randall thinks to himself, and then I'm sitting here thinking, it's like out of game. It's like Randall knows that, like, going to a necromancer to break a necromancy curse is optimal, but it's illegal. Which means it'll probably take time to find this dude and be dangerous wherever this guy's retainers are. Finding a divinationist is going to be a pain in the ass.
Finding mages tends to be difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah.
You're also at the Fair of Blades.
Correct.
Surrounded by dudes that have presumably traveled, fought, and seen many places. Abad kind of looks you up and down. Randall, once you have decided, do not feel as though you must decide now. You can return to me at a much later time. You might wonder why a man such as myself would even be in such a place. Well, I prefer the simplicity. Could perhaps have gone to the red some, but here...
The red cock?
Yes, but here I am among the people. The kind of struggles for the right words. Doesn't matter. I will be here.
Randall nods.
Once our business has concluded, you will become, hopefully, a Sadiq friend. It means friend, where I am from.
Yeah, well, it means faggot where I'm from.
In the meantime,
Aww.
I will finish my studies, and then, well, when I move to negotiate my mercenary contracts, I will look for your Sahib. I will speak to my friends. Do we have a deal, Said?
We have a deal.
Very well. I expect you to uphold your word. And where I am from,
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
breaking your word is unadvised.
I see. Incidentally, do you have any interest in academia?
Of course, I collect. What are you looking for?
I recently ran afoul of a creature from... I'm not sure if your peoples would have a different word for it. Mine refers to it as the Dark.
He comes from. Dar? Sawad! Sawad! Yes, of course, Sawad. We are not so good here. Our God does not encourage us to look into this. Sawad brings bad omens and curses upon houses and children. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So in this, I am afraid, Said Randall. Although I wish I could. Anything else? Anything?
Randall thinks about it for a second and kind of looks at the top right corner of his head. You know, just like his eyes just making a quick move. He's like, well, unless you wish to commission more work, then I believe that I could be moving on.
Do not forget our deal, Saidra. We'll use my connections to find your Sahir, if indeed a Sahir can be found. And, well, you will paint for my son work worthy.
Randall nods. I shall endeavor to improve such that your son has a memorable marriage portrait.
This is correct.
Randall nods again. I'll make it something to remember.
He puts a hand over his heart. Ashala inambat. Say.
Ching chong, body ding dong.
Forgive me, I am unfamiliar with the custom. Is this a gesture to be returned?
No. You must simply say, good day.
Randall nods. Good day.
He, assuming you're getting up from the table, he returns to his work, whatever that might be, written in strange script that you cannot decipher.
Okay. That was an interesting conversation.
Yep. You are now kind of thrust back out into the chaos of Acretia. Or at least the tavern. And it seems like this would be a good moment to kind of call the game. I don't want to get too far ahead of Debo, but by the next time we start up, it'll be in the Fair of Blades.
Sure.
And maybe we'll resolve some of Debo's side business if it can be done.
Yeah.
Well, Spoon, looks like you did okay today. What do you think?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I was actually really tense when that guy was following me around.
Good. That's why I like your shithole. Tensed. Made good gold, made some allies. Or at least had a meme and potentially made an ally. Made 4 gold, Puggy!
Right? Now time to walk back all the way to fucking... What was it? Fucking Cornwall and get Gerard back?
Gerard? I mean, I guess, if you want.
Or not Gerard, fucking Gerald de.
Oh my god. Oh, Gerald de Levine.
Oh, fuck that pussy. He's on my time. Oh.
Yes,
Oh no, wait, fucking Gerald de Vervain. That's what his name is.
Gerald de Ravine. Savage sexual Tyrannosaurus. Yep.
Bro, Brian, this item I just found, you know how I said I wanted to be Homeland?
Yes. Thanks for playing,
Yeah,
Spoon.
I found the
will-
eye laser item.
Spoon, you get 3 XP.
Sweet, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. It was fun. It was a bit of a short game, I think, but
Yeah, like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it did some. Actually, okay, so that's about standard-ish length, give or take. But yeah, gave you some stuff to play with.